everybody, this is Diana, aka Pop Culture Diva 42, and today I wanted to do something different. I saw a list from Movie Geek 17, hope I got that right, where he listed all of his favorite romantic movies and love stories from movies, and I've been wanting to do that same video for a while, and this finally inspired me to go ahead with it. The thing is that I am considered to be a very cynical person when it comes to romantic movies, but I am not that cynical, at least I don't think so. I'm just very allergic to Hollywood bullshit when it comes to love. I can't exactly define Hollywood bullshit for you. I can just say that, you know, it's like porn. I know it when I see it. And I broke them down into, even though there are only 10, I felt the need to break them down into 3 categories because I'm kind of anal like that. So I broke them down into epic love stories, quirky love stories, and real love stories. Starting off with a movie that I grew up with, Ladyhawke. It was directed by Richard Donner, whom I'm sure needs no introduction. For me, Ladyhawke is a perfect combination between medieval romance and the 80s. It's so obvious that it's a movie produced by the 80s because they mix, you know, the old with the new, and it has the most awesome soundtrack that is all based on synth music. And the villain in this is straight out of a Disney movie, but you totally believe it in live action form. I mean, there's nothing, of course there's something campy about the whole thing, there's something very corny, but at the same time Richard Donner directed this so well that everything works together. And maybe I'm only saying that because I grew up with it, but it's still pretty epic, I think. Secretary. There are no words for how much I love Secretary, even though I'm not into the stuff that these characters are into, obviously. But I love the idea of finding somebody to love in your own way, no matter how fucked up it may be. Down with Love. It's all about Ewan McGregor. Well, okay, I lied. It's mostly about Ewan McGregor, but it's also about a very stylized version of the 60s, and the movie is at the same time kind of a parody of the romantic comedies from the 60s, but it also has a pretty modern message from my point of view. The idea of true love is not about finding your match or your soulmate, it's about finding your equal. And this is exactly what these characters are about. And I think it's also, this may be just my opinion, but you know, when you break up with somebody and when you use the line, you know, I deserve better, it's because subconsciously or consciously you're thinking that you're actually better than that person. And that's why the message works so well in this movie, that true love is about finding your equal. I love you, Phillip Morris. No, for the sake of political correctness, I had to throw something for the gays. No, I'm kidding, please don't lynch me, you fabulous people. The truth is that I love this for all the reasons that I didn't particularly care about Brokeback Mountain as the big gay love story. I Love You, Phillip Morris because it's not the story of 2 dudes in love, it's the story of love in general and what love will make you do. I mean, the guy in this, played by Jim Carrey, he is willing to fake his own death so he can get out of prison, so he can be with the guy that he loves, and willing to go for some crazy shit. And it's all about motivation and how love is tied into motivation and what love will make you do. Moulin Rouge. This time, it really is all about Ewan McGregor and his awesome singing. Just one more for the Ewan McGregor fans, and I know that out of 10 movies, 4 of them are with Ewan McGregor, but it's not my fault that the guy is such a good romantic hero. This time I'm talking about Perfect Sense, and I already talked about this in my review of it, so I'm not going to go into it again. I'm just going to say that while this is not entirely a romantic movie, it's not a love story, so to speak, the romantic aspects of it are so well played out, and it's such a good mix between what is actually happening between 2 people and the environment where it's happening and how connected they are to the end of the world and how the end of the world is affecting them and is affecting the development of their love story and all that kind of crazy shit. But please check out the actual review because I think I make a lot more sense in that. Tristan and Isolde. I don't know why this movie is not more popular. Maybe because of James Franco's ridiculous hairpiece in this. Really, his hair is like a character of its own in this movie. But yeah, Tristan and Isolde does so many things right. It has a great atmosphere, and really for a romance, it has some pretty sweet ass fight scenes. So if you're the kind of person that likes ancient Britain historical dramas, you know, stuff like King Arthur and the Eagle and Centurion and things like that, this is right up there with all these other historical dramas. Punch Drunk Love. I will never say a bad word about Adam Sandler or his acting based on Punch Drunk Love. I love this movie so much, and the love story of it. Like, Adam Sandler is so brilliant in switching from maniac depressive to sweetheart in this. And the scene where they're in bed and he's saying like, I would like to eat your eyeballs, is just the sweetest scene ever. And again, we're circling back to that idea of finding somebody that you can love in your own way and can make you feel loved at the same time. Peter and Vandy is without a doubt my favorite all-time romantic movie. It is as real as I have ever experienced love to be portrayed on screen. It is 100% realistic from my point of view, even though the story is not told in chronological order. I talked about this movie before. I haven't actually done a review of it, but really, Peter and Vandy, it's just that idea of true love is not, you know, sweeping romance and mind-blowing fucking 24/7. True love is about moments, the moments that you share. But the problem is that between those moments, happy or sad, there's just a whole bunch of nothing. There's a whole bunch of routine, of things that get in your way and fuck up your thinking, that you're kind of pushing the person that you love away because of all the crap in your life, even though you don't want that. And you know, I think that's very real. I think that's what being in a relationship is all about having those moments together, but also dealing with the fact that life is not one big moment. Life is a whole bunch of strange, fucked up things going on, and how are you going to let that affect your relationship to this other person? And the one thing I will say about Peter Vandy is that the happy ending it has kind of circumvents the realness of the story, but fuck it, I don't care. I actually do want them to stick together by the end of it. So those are my favorite love stories. Are they actually 10? 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. What? Chasing Amy. This is actually one that was also on Movie Geek 17's list. And what more can be said about Chasing Amy? Just that Kevin Smith hit a real nerve with this. And I also like that idea of, and it's kind of something that I empathize with, maybe because I love this movie so much. And I saw it when I was like 16 or 17, and so it kind of maybe molded me a little bit. There's the idea of loving individuals, not men or women, and how much that perception shifts over time, where you kind of you have to fall in love with the person, not the person's gender, respectively. And of course, sexuality is a spectrum and all that bullshit. But really, like, Holden's monologue in this movie is brilliant, honest piece of writing from Kevin Smith. Honestly, I think outside of Clerks, it is his best movie.